Hello, future engineers, subscribers, viewers, and students. There is another video in hydraulics, and this series of problems are problems given civil engineer license or exam problems in hydraulics. I hope that through this video, your preparations in your board exams will be that intense and rigid, and I hope that you will or you can increase your knowledge, your skills in hydraulics.
So for problem 1, an unbalanced force of 270 newtons upward accelerates a volume of 0.044 cubic meter of water. If the water is zero point 0.9 meter deep in a cylindrical tank, what is the force acting on the bottom of the tank? So take note that the acceleration is upward and AY is positive. And for problems about relative equilibrium, the force is supposedly pressure at the bottom times the area. And that pressure at the bottom is magnified static pressure times quantity 1 plus minus AY over G. Then bar H, which is the depth of water in the tank, and area is equal to volume because the volume is area times depth. So area therefore is volume over the depth. So again, F is static pressure at the bottom, which is gamma times gamma water times depth. Then magnify that by multiplying the quantity 1 plus AY over G, then times the area. So take note of that for hydrodynamics. So gamma, bar H supposedly, which is in this case just H because the centroid of the bottom is at a distance, the depth of water in the cylindrical tank, then magnify it by this quantity 1 plus minus AY over G, where the sign is plus, and area is the area of the bottom, which is equal to volume divided by depth for cylindrical tanks or for prismatic bodies. So substituting, because the force is 270 and it is equal to mass times AY. Mass is density times volume. Density of water is 1000, volume 0.044. So from here, we can solve for AY. AY equals 6.126 meter per second squared. Then substitute into that formula there. So FB is 9.81 kilonewtons per cubic meter. Part H, which is just the depth, 0.9 quantity 1 plus AY over G. Then area is, as mentioned, volume over depth. Then using the calculator, that force is equal to 0.7016 kilonewtons. Let's proceed to problem 2. What is the hydraulic radius of a pipe with a diameter of 12 mm? In general, the hydraulic radius is area, cross-sectional area of the section, cross-sectional area, divided by wetted perimeter. Since it is circular, the area is pi over 4 diameter square divided by perimeter pi d. So the hydraulic radius or the hydraulic mean depth is simply diameter over 4. In general, hydraulic diameter over 4. So substitute, because the section is circular, this hydraulic diameter is simply the diameter of the pipe, which is 12 mm, divided by 4, so that's 3 mm. Problem 3. The length of a Sepulati weir is the length of the crest that is understood in this problem is 5 times its head. If the discharge flowing in the weir is 0.6 cubic meter per second, what would be its head? So discharge formula for Sepulati weir is equal to 1.859 length of crest head to the three hubs. where the length is 5 times the head. From there, Q is known, zero point 0.6 equals 1.859. Then the length of the crest is 5 times the head, h to the 3 halves. So it is zero point 0.6 equals 1.859 times 5 head to the 5 halves. Solving for h, it is zero point 0.6 divided by quantity, 1.859 times 5, then the entire value raised to 2/5. Then from there, we can solve for h equal to 0.3342 meter. Problem 4, a water tank with a diameter 3 meters is filled with water. If the water level is 2 meters above a nozzle and the nozzle is 5 meters above the ground, how long will it take the water to hit the ground? So the equation of trajectory, there is no mention inclination of the nozzle here, so it is understood horizontal, and the nozzle is attached to the vertical wall of a tank. The general formula for its trajectory is y equals, take note in the derivation, y equals x tangent theta O minus gx squared over 2bo squared cosine square of theta O. So that's the general expression. So where theta O, because there's no mention here, is understood 0. Tangent of 0 is 0, while cosine of 0 is 1. So the whole of this is 1. So the equation of trajectory reduces to y equals negative gx squared over 2vo squared, where x is um, vo cosine theta O, the x component of velocity, which is constant. That's the principle because air resistance is negligible, times time. So replacing x by vo cosine theta O times time, and quantity squared divided by 2vo squared. Remember that cosine of theta O is 1 and 1 squared is still 1, while tangent of theta O is 0. So that's why it reduces to that, and we replace x by that x component of velocity times time. So y is negative in projectile motion. The origin is the launching point. So the origin here is the tip of the nozzle. That's 0. But because it is mentioned that the nozzle is 5 meters above the ground, so if the ground is here, the nozzle is above, then the origin is above also. Therefore, y is negative 5 in this expression. But if we simplify this expression here, vo squared will be cancelled. Cosine theta O is 1. So it reduces to y equals negative g t squared over 2. Then y is negative 5, as explained, equals negative 9.81 t squared over 2. Then we can now solve for the time for the jet to strike the horizontal flat ground, and it is equal to 1.010 seconds. Then problem 5, a rectangular channel has a width of 3 meters. If the discharge flowing in the canal is 1.8 cubic meter per second and the coefficient of roughness is 0.012, compute the critical slope. So critical slope from Manning's formula, velocity equals 1 over n hydraulic radius raised to 2/3 s to the 1/2. If we derive a formula for slope, then square everything. Slope is equal to n squared d sub c critical velocity square over hydraulic radius to the 4/3. The hydraulic radius is also critical for this case if the slope is critical. So what is hydraulic radius? Hydraulic radius is area over wetted perimeter. So B critical depth, base times critical depth over base plus 2 times critical depth. The critical depth for rectangular section is cube root of small q square over g, where small q is capital Q 1.8 divided by base width, which is 3. So therefore, it is 0.6 cubic meter per second per meter. From there, we can compute the critical depth, which is cube root of small q squared, 0.6 squared over 9.81. So critical depth therefore is equal to 0.3323 meter, I think. So I cannot see it. I'll just reduce my uh, the size of the video where my face is visible. So from there, the critical velocity is square root of g d sub c. So critical velocity squared is g d sub c. So 9.81 times 0.3323, and that is equal to 3.260 square meter per second square. So hydraulic radius area, which is 3 times critical depth over wetted perimeter, which is base, which is 3 plus 2 times critical depth. So hydraulic radius is equal to 0.2720 meter. Finally, substitute into this formula, critical slope equals 0.012 square, 3.26, because that's v sub c squared over hydraulic radius 0.2720 to the 4/3. Then solving for critical slope, it is equal to 0.00266 So that's it for this problem. The other formula, which is g times n square over critical depth to the 1/3, there is a formula for that. But that is only for very wide channel. That is, the width is very, very wide, such that the hydraulic radius, which is 3 times, let us say, base, which is very, very wide, times critical depth over base plus 2 times critical depth, base, which is very wide, plus base, which is very high, plus 2 times critical depth will be approximately equal to 1. And the hydraulic radius for that case is equal to the critical depth. So that's why that formula gn squared over critical depth to the 1/3 is applicable only for very wide channel. So that's it for this video.